So when we bought the property,
He never wanted to be monogamous. He just wanted control.
I think after we moved to Flagstaff,
The theory suggests that Kody anticipated the breakdown of his marriages as soon as the family relocated to Flagstaff.
all 3 on the 4-acre piece, and that's all you're on. So when we bought the property,
Rather than addressing the issues, he allegedly used the time to consolidate finances and make the family's money more difficult to track. According to this view, both Kody and Robin were orchestrating a long-term plan. Robin's initial bond with Mary is seen as strategic. She needed Mary to relinquish the legal marriage to Kody. Once that was accomplished, Mary was gradually pushed aside.
okay, so you get 4, Robin gets 4, so you guys get 8 together.
Despite distancing herself, Robin still benefited from Mary's contributions and resources. It's believed Kody didn't intend to lose all of his wives. He was reportedly fine with Mary leaving, but wanted Christine and Janelle to remain, at least in name. They were expected to continue contributing financially, accept a minimal role in the relationship, and allow him and Robin to live as the primary couple.
And he goes, no. And I'm like, that's not enough for me. I can't not have an intimate marriage.
His claim that many marriages are intimateless was, in this context, an attempt to normalize a relationship with Christine that lacked physical and emotional intimacy, while maintaining his full partnership with Robin.
Now that she's leaving, I just felt like giving her a piece of my mind with that leaving. But
Kody's ongoing resentment toward Christine is often seen as stemming from the fact that she left first. Her decision is thought to have empowered Mary and Janelle to follow, disrupting the family structure Kody was trying to preserve. His reactions, particularly his anger when discussing Christine's departure, are perceived as genuine, not performative.
I guess she signed over her property to Kody and Robin.
If he had known she truly intended to leave, it's unlikely he would have signed off on removing his name from the property.
and then there's the 2.5 acre. This was originally supposed to be a really special place.
In this interpretation, Kody's choices and behavior point to a desire to maintain control, preserve access to shared resources, and keep the appearance of unity, while centering his actual relationship around Robin. Kody Brown didn't forget his daughters, he chose to ignore them. Truly and Savannah are arguably the two children most neglected within the family dynamic.
This is where Kody and I disagree most fundamentally all the time. He would come over like at 5 at night, have dinner with us.
Kody's lack of affection toward Truly seems to mirror the emotional distance he had with Christine. As his relationship with Christine deteriorated, he began withdrawing from her children as well.
157 to 173, right?
It's striking when you consider that Truly and Solomon are only a few years apart. Yet Solomon and Ariella received constant attention and affection, while Truly was largely overlooked.
No, I don't think he's talked to you, right, Savannah?
No, he hasn't spoken to me since my birthday.
Savannah's situation is equally disheartening. Kody appeared to completely abandon his relationship with her, blaming the breakdown on Janelle. After things soured with Gabe and Garrison, he seemed to forget Savannah entirely. He didn't even call her on Christmas or wish her a happy birthday, despite her having done nothing wrong. She's just a child caught in the crossfire.
So 3 pounds difference between them.
Solomon, too, deserves sympathy. Removed from the larger family and isolated within a smaller household, he now lives under drastically different circumstances than his older siblings. There's also the irony of Robin's expectations.
You have a new little brother. Yeah. Robin had a baby.
She believed her children would benefit from joining a large polygamous family, surrounded by many siblings and the support of a shared household. But in reality, if the original Brown children are divided into 3 groups, older, middle, and youngest, only the oldest experience the true polygamous lifestyle and religious upbringing.
Yeah. I mean, Maddie has probably lost about 20 pounds.
The middle children existed in a strange transitional phase, caught between the fading ideals of polygamy and the growing reality of a monogamous structure centered around Robin. Their religious involvement diminished and their sense of community weakened. Meanwhile, the youngest group were effectively raised in single-parent households, with Christine and Janelle shouldering the full burden of parenting, financially and emotionally, while still being expected to accommodate Kody's selective involvement.
The last little group of the kids. Maybe.
Truly and Savannah, in particular, faced challenges common to children of divorce: emotional distance, inconsistent support, and fractured family roles. The difference is, their situation played out on national television, while the adults involved continued to promote the illusion of unity and shared responsibility.
Does it hurt us to wait 6 months?
I don't know, I think it could only get worse.
Isabel belongs in that group too. Kody expected her to delay necessary surgery for 6 months, supposedly so the whole family could go, when, in reality, it was about not being apart from Robin and her children for more than a couple of nights. Robin never wanted a sister wife, so why is she suddenly pushing for one now? There's a pattern that's hard to ignore.
I can see now that I was probably always destined to live in a plural family.
Robin has repeatedly asked Kody this season whether he's truly done with polygamy. She keeps circling back to the idea that he should try again, most recently in the upcoming episode's preview.
Robin's kids, we will not ever be compliant enough for their rules.
Meanwhile, the rest of the family is disengaging. Most of the adult children appear increasingly uninterested in being involved, and the other wives are clearly moving on. Each has begun building independent financial stability, and emotionally, they seem ready to close the chapter.
I think he's just a monogamist now.
Yeah.
Season 20 looks more and more like a conclusion, at least for the original family dynamic.
Will you accept me as a monogamist?
But don't expect the cameras to stop rolling just yet. Robin and Kody could very well pivot into a spin-off centered around finding a new wife, under the guise of religious commitment, but in reality, to keep the reality show engine running.
So now I'm essentially a monogamist.
The idea of Robin welcoming a new wife seems laughable, though. Despite her talk of plural marriage, it's unlikely she'd tolerate a younger or more dynamic woman threatening her position. She's already dismantled the original family structure and consolidated emotional and financial control. Going through that battle again seems unlikely, unless it's strictly for show.
Then you are a monogamist. So stop trying to act like I did something wrong.
As for Kody, it's worth remembering that for most of his adult life, he chased whatever suited him in the moment, often justifying it with religious motives. Now that he's older and seemingly less capable of maintaining multiple relationships, he claims to be content with monogamy, a convenient shift. Financially, he may appear stable now, after years of leveraging his relationships and the show's success, but that stability is far from guaranteed. A new wife might only be entertained if she brings her own wealth into the picture.
They need to know that I have no intention of living on the property, and I don't want my piece of property. I just don't.
And perhaps at the root of it, Robin still clings to the belief that eternal salvation requires sister wives. That belief, whether sincere or performative, might be just enough to drive the next chapter. Kody didn't just ignore one of his kids, he practically erased her. Throughout the later seasons, a clear pattern emerges in Kody's behavior. He consistently showers affection on Solomon, often seen holding, playing with, and engaging warmly with him. The same happens with Ari when she's born.
He knows how to manage Ariella. He knows how to feed her.
But truly, there's a noticeable absence. Instances of him holding or interacting with her in a meaningful, affectionate way are rare, and certainly not memorable.
Okay, wait.
At one point, when Truly responds with a curt, "No thank you, Daddy," it lands less like a cute moment and more like unintentional commentary on the emotional distance between them. Despite still showing physical affection toward other children like Savannah and Aurora even as they grew older, Truly seems to have been skipped entirely.
He takes her out to dinner every couple of weeks. He is seeing her more frequently than he was at the beginning of the year, for sure.
The announcement of Robin's pregnancy with Solomon was delivered with enthusiasm that made it clear the new baby was displacing the previous youngest without a second thought. From that moment, Truly's presence was barely acknowledged. It becomes increasingly evident that Kody's relationship with each child is heavily influenced by his standing with their mother. Rather than treating his children with equal love and attention, his favoritism shifts with his romantic interests. This is especially apparent with Christine's children, none of whom seem to have enjoyed a close bond with him during filming. Given the long-standing tension in that relationship, the emotional distance makes unfortunate sense.
if he could meet me at Salsa Brava, just to discuss Truly and what she's doing and how she is.
When Christine decides to move away, Kody's sudden concern over custody arrangements comes across as performative. The truth is, he was rarely present or engaged in Truly's life, even when they lived nearby.
They wish. You want blue now? Yes. Tie it to your...
A clear pattern can be seen in family photos over the years. Kody is always holding the youngest child, except when that child was Truly. During her early years, his focus was firmly on Robin, not his daughter. Truly didn't get the attentive, affectionate father many of the other children experienced, and that speaks volumes. They're using religion as a PR stunt, and that think no one will call them out.
She gets hurt easy. She's just tender and feeling and in physical.
Apparently, Robin's also passed down the art of fake crying. The girl seems completely lost, no sense of direction, thanks to Robin's influence. Maybe joining this new church will finally help her build some confidence and take steps towards actual adulthood. She's nearly 22, yet her behavior is more childish than a third grader's.
Was moving.
I've been going to the church and I wanted to talk to you guys about getting baptized.
Why is a grown adult asking for permission to be baptized? Learning she's 22 is genuinely shocking. It doesn't align at all with how she presents herself. And all of a sudden, she and her siblings are being prominently featured, despite barely being part of the picture for years. It really seems like every possible storyline has been exhausted.
Robin is Mary's advocate in our marriage.
Her emotional development appears frozen. It's hard not to notice the stark contrast between her and other young women around her. Women who are confident, self-aware, and emotionally grounded. Instead, there's this constant display of performative emotion, likely passed down through the family. It's not empathy. It's manipulation disguised as vulnerability.
Oh, wow. Baptism is a big step.
The entire church storyline feels calculated. By leaning into religion, there's likely an assumption that no one will dare question or criticize the narrative. It's a convenient shield, something that seems designed to reframe the public perception of certain individuals under the guise of spiritual growth. But instead of being moving or authentic, it feels hollow and manufactured.
Saying my whole life to my children, find your path to God.
That said, some of the emotion may be real. The visible nervousness, the shaking voice, the tears, they suggest someone who is genuinely afraid to speak or express themselves freely. There's clearly something off in that environment, though it's impossible to say exactly what.
Aurora has been having panic attacks.
And the irony is hard to miss. There's now an emphasis on ensuring someone fully understands baptism and its meaning, yet in the past, children were baptized without the capacity to grasp any of it. The inconsistency speaks volumes. Kody and Robin finally got what they wanted, and they look absolutely miserable. Let's talk about why.
He has to stay at her house all the time.
It's no surprise the wives eventually left Kody. The lack of love, attention, and respect from him must have been unbearable. Combine that with his blatant favoritism toward Robin, and it's hard to believe the relationships lasted as long as they did. Their emotional disconnection was especially evident in the most recent season. Yet, seeing Mary, Christine, and Janelle take back their autonomy has been a powerful transformation. Their independence and renewed happiness speak volumes.
Robin has said to me so many times, "Don't leave me, don't leave me."
Robin, on the other hand, always seemed more interested in being the dominant figure within the group rather than a genuine partner in a plural marriage. The irony is that she now has exactly what she claimed not to want, Kody all to herself. She appeared to thrive in competition, not in solitude.
I have to pack up his stuff because it's too heartbreaking.
Now, both she and Kody seem consumed by their own discontent. The atmosphere surrounding them appears heavy, strained, hardly the outcome of getting what they supposedly wanted.
He and I don't have a relationship. Christine has left. I don't know.
It's striking to observe how the departure of the other wives, painful as it may have been, ended up being the very thing that allowed them to flourish. In contrast, Robin seems withdrawn and depleted. If she and Kody truly desired a life with just each other, it raises the question, why are they not visibly happier?
But that never really happened.
Janelle, when she sold her home in Vegas,
There's also the matter of finances. The perception remains that Robin has not contributed financially since her marriage to Kody, and his various ventures have never yielded substantial income. Meanwhile, the other wives were actively supporting the family. The situation casts serious doubt on how certain assets, like the $1 million home, were funded. Legal action over financial discrepancies appears justified, especially if it leads to restitution for those who sustain the household, while receiving little in return. Here's what they don't tell you about reality TV stars who gaslight their entire audience. Does Robin realize she's contradicting herself? Time and again, she makes statements that directly conflict with previously recorded footage, raising the question of whether she's unaware of her own history or simply hoping others are.
The idea of trying to encourage them or pressure them into our church.
This season, she claimed she would never impose a specific religion on her children and finds it odd when others do.
I'm sorry, I do not feel right about this. I'm really sorry.
However, during the family's time in Las Vegas, she openly expressed anger when the children showed interest in youth groups at other churches.
They say I have no idea where he is, and my kids are complaining where he...
She also recently stated that she never kept track of Kody's whereabouts and was perfectly comfortable with how he divided his time.
So I literally started keeping track, not of where he was.
Yet, in earlier seasons, she confided in Mary that she monitored where Kody was and felt he was being unfair in his distribution of time. At one point, she even admitted that she disliked him being out of her sight for too long. These aren't minor inconsistencies, they're direct contradictions. Given the show's 15-year run, it's not as though these moments have vanished. They were filmed, aired, and archived. The idea that she either doesn't remember or chooses to ignore them is perplexing. The show rarely confronts these inconsistencies directly. Interviews and reunion-style segments don't include accountability measures. There are no follow-ups, no archival clips, no pushback. Without a structure in place to challenge contradictions, the narrative is allowed to evolve unchecked.
Motorized vehicles are not my favorite thing. I'm not excited.
Even during the pandemic, she claimed to dislike speed and motorized vehicles, only to be seen enthusiastically riding an ATV this season with none of that supposed caution in sight.
I like the speed. I like just kind of taking jumps.
It appears that her behavior is part of a long-standing pattern, justifying, reframing, or rewriting events in ways that serve her in the moment. Over time, repeated justifications can begin to feel like truth, especially when those around her, Kody included, offer no resistance. There's also the possibility that these contradictions stem from a deeper psychological pattern. When individuals repeatedly dismiss facts, rewrite history, and experience no external consequences, the behavior can become habitual. In such cases, lying isn't always recognized as lying by the person doing it. It's rationalized as contextual truth, shaped by personal emotion or convenience. Ultimately, the pattern remains the same. Contradictions are presented as fact, challenged by no one, and allowed to accumulate. Over time, the line between misremembering and manipulation becomes increasingly difficult to draw. All right, I'm done rambling for today. Appreciate you hanging out here on Reality Nexus X. I'm Elena. Go do something chill, and I'll see you soon.